in a position to do something. And I can only tell you I did what I was supposed to do. No special favors. You just have to do what you must do. I recognize, of course, our friends on the high table. When you are asked to name your favorite at the high table, I was expecting to hear Kalonzo, but I didn't hear any. That's okay. Tomatoe going to Okango, or the beautifully dressed lady. It's so good to see you, particularly our young friends from other parts of the African continent. We say in Kiswahili, karibuni sana. We also used to say, Kenya hakuna matata. We lied. There's a lot of matata going around. In fact, you come to a country at a time when there's so much matata, and it's not negative matata, this time positive matata coming from the youth of this country. And we celebrate you. Of course, our Tanzanian neighbors, I personally believe the Tanzanians, we've seen a young man, a young lady from Tanzania, from Dar es Salaam. I think it's Tanzanians who have really no matata. And it's the Tanzanians who have done what the youth wanted, as according to the conversation this morning. President, Madam Suluhu. So we all celebrate Tanzania. Of course, I think the Liberians before you, Sir Johnson Sirleaf, Madam, that time, and you never know. If only we embrace democracy. But I don't want to digress further. Allow me to make a written statement because this is important. And Youth Bridge Kenya, you've done well. I think the next time you go for convention, it will be bigger. That's my prayer for you. And it will encompass greater part of the continent. And this is going to be a game changer. Therefore, good morning, distinguished guests, delegates and young leaders from our continent. First, I would like to thank the organizers, Youth Bridge Kenya, for organizing this forum and extending an invitation to me to be able to make some remarks today. Friends, I strongly hold the view that the youth will shape conviction because it is happening here today in Kenya. What a moment to be in Kenya, to be Kenyan, experiencing Generation Z led a peaceful revolution which has forever changed this country's governance. And nobody should be afraid. If it was unexpected, and I think the surprise element about this Gen Z revolution is what is amazing. It just, for us who are who are believers, know that this is directly from God Himself. What has taken place over the last month on Kenyan roads and streets, on X Spaces, on TikTok, on WhatsApp, in Facebook, Instagram. May I ask which other platform have I left out? I mentioned TikTok. WeChat. And others? X. I mentioned X. What has actually happened in all these platforms brings to life this very discussion on the pivotal role of youth in fostering inclusive democracies across Africa. And the main theme is harnessing the youth bulge for the benefit of our continent.
And we've been told by Alex that the median age is 19 years in Kenya. Kenya Gen Z's selfless actions prompted a Catholic Archbishop by the name Philip Anyolo only last week, when the country was commemorating this year's edition of Sabasaba. And if you are not Kenyan, you could ask your colleagues over tea, what was this Sabasaba thing? It was a day when those many years, a team that was called Young Turks and others, leaders who took it upon themselves to fight for democracy in Kenya and for fight for their space, when they took to the streets in a place called Kamukunji, and Kenya changed. We ended up amending our constitution, removing a very offensive clause that was outlawing a multi-party democracy. Up to that point, Kenya was a de jure one-party state. And through Sabasaba activities, we removed Section 2A, and Kenya became a democracy. This was strengthened in 2010 when we inaugurated the Constitution 2010 under President Kibaki, whom I had occasion to serve under as his vice president. The Archbishop said, I quote, "We used to say you are the leaders of tomorrow, but indeed you have proved that you are not leaders of the future, but of this our time." End of quote. He delivered these remarks, as I said, during the special service at the Holy Family Basilica only a few days ago, in memory of 41 young Kenyans killed by police gunfire during peaceful demonstrations. Police gunfire. I had occasion to visit some of the morgues in the city mortuary for those of you who are Kenyans, and my heart almost stopped when I saw the brains of a young Kenyan, a Gen Z, blown off by a sniper's bullet who fired from on top of the National Assembly. 41 young Kenyans died. I completely concur with the Archbishop that his sentiments that accurately depict the social, economic, and even political climate in Kenya, which currently finds, in Kenya that the country currently finds itself in. Instead of imagining a future where their voices might be eventually heard, Gen Z declared that this is our time and we will be listened to this time round. In so doing, Kenya's youth gave life to Article 1 of our Constitution 2010, to which I made reference, which defines the sovereignty of the people as all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised only in accordance with this Constitution. And Article 2, the people may use their democratically elected representatives or themselves to exert their sovereign authority. This is what the Kenyan Gen